as we will continue on to the credits scene, we'll show you a little bit more exactly what each person did. For instance, some of the things I did with UI management, I did producer work, organization, etc. Ryan did a lot of the AI combat movement. Julia did some of the art, and she also helped with wave systems, etc. Valerie did art for environment and also player. Katie did a lot of the enemy sprites, and she also did the cute animation or cute icons of our faces in the credit scene. And then we also have citations for every music asset we used that wasn't ours.
This game is so amazingly well polished. Like, it's clear that you guys put a ton of work into really making it shine. I'm curious, what point through the process did you have basically a finished game that was ready to be polished?
Do you mean like when we were done with most of our functions and stuff?
Yeah, like when did you have your core finished and you just said, okay, now we're making it better?
I'll have Ryan answer that.
So about halfway through the project's life cycle, we had the basic combat with the EMEA AI implemented, which is the core of the game, I suppose. And I wouldn't say we had all the mechanics implemented until maybe a week before today, but the core of the game was ready a long time ago.
Yeah, that's really good. I think that it's true with any size game that polishing the last 20% takes 80% of the time, and it's clear that you guys have really put a lot of energy into that. You've also stayed away from the track of feature creep, where you're like, oh, we're halfway done, let's keep adding a bunch of stuff. But you built a very specific kind of combat, and you nailed it, and you just kept driving at that until you ran out of time, and it totally shows. The music and sound effects are so great, they fit your game so really well. I love chiptune, so this is just like where I live. The knights and archers and stuff seemed a little like out of nowhere because I'm a spider in a dungeon. I mean, I guess like there's sort of this theme that got thrown in that I didn't really understand. Some of that is I feel like there's an interesting like double play thing where like a reclusive person gets turned into a recluse spider. That's cool. I would love to see that played up a little bit more. Like, did the demon turn you into a spider because of your reclusive lifestyle? Is this some kind of redemptive story for the character? Why 7 days? Does this person only go out once a week? Like, those are the kind of things that I think would be connected together with, you hint at with the name, but you don't actually kind of deliver and confirm that to me. Along those lines, why am I in my room? Why am I in this room? The shape of the room and everything was really good for your gameplay. The web swinging was great. I think one thing that really stood out to me was your interactive credits. I love, even if I can just scroll them, like I'm in an interactive experience, why do the credits just become a film in so many games? And particularly what you guys did where you click on a thing and it shows that person and what they did, that is so smart for your portfolios. Like if you're gonna ever use this for a job or a scholarship or something, people are gonna ask what part of the game did you do, and you can just say click on my name in the credits. Like every student project forever should do this. I don't know if you guys came up with that or if you borrowed it from somewhere else, but that is a brilliant idea for student projects.
Yeah, I'd like to echo all that. I grew up in the 80s and played a lot of arcade games and sunk a lot of quarters into stuff that looked and played like this and sounded like this, so this really kind of speaks to my childhood a lot. It was really well put together. Everything from the mechanics to the artwork to the sound and everything. I mean, even the fact that you managed to put a very simple, not complex or deep story, but the fact that it was even there kind of showed that you were thinking about it as a holistic thing, that there was actually kind of something more to it. I think if you had explored that a little bit more and there was a twist maybe near the end where you come up with the gold to pay off the demon, but then you're betrayed, or, you know, basically, sure, as a 5-minute game, there's a lot to like there, but I feel like you could really go a little deeper with it and get a bit more out of it. So it's just really wonderful effort, and I actually want to see more done to it because I think you've got a really great foundation.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff here. I like that idea of sort of being turned into the villain of the thing. You sort of have this idea of these adventurers coming in like on their regular kind of D&D quest, and you're the bad guy. So that'd be a cool thing to kind of put in when Eric was talking about kind of the storytelling. This is sort of the reluctance that I have no choice but to kill you. Like I'm one of you, but you wouldn't know it because I'm a monster. There's something to play with there. And then I really do like the gameplay and like the way it runs through. And I think what the guy said is I agree with. I feel like you could do a little more with the map, like somehow that like it's somehow kind of constrained in there, like that one room kind of piece and sort of 2D. Like I'd like to see like some more places for them to hide, or kind of have some different sort of strategy elements to it, like where they're coming from. And then was I right that like so when you said you could do the upgrades, and I think that we really didn't get to kind of totally see the upgrades because you were running through it for your presentation as we went through the different levels. But so my ability to buy things is based on the number of that type of adventurer that I dispatched. Is that?
Your ability to buy an upgrade is based off of how much gold you collect.
Total, right? Like, and then that was part of it too. It seemed like in the end with the boss fight, like that at that point I had like 7,000 gold or whatever. That's my health, right? Then the damage that the boss is giving me is not like, it seems like he like almost couldn't kill me. That like I could stand beside him for a long time, and like the amount of damage that he's hitting me with, like I've got 7,000 gold. Like he could, you know, it's not high stakes enough. You know, I want to make it a little more challenging. It feels like maybe the spider's a little overpowered. In that case, so or I'd really have to earn that kind of level up. But super fun game. It looks really playable. Like you can play it a number of times. Like you kind of play it through different ways. So, thanks.